Let's go to the Premier, Doug Ford. He's making announcements. Let's listen in live from
and I just
Kingsville.
want to thank the Prime Minister for being a great partner. I'm urging them to do what's necessary to secure this, to make sure they secure their agreement, and have said again that Ontario is willing to do our part. We put more money on the table. Now more than ever, we need all people, all levels of government, all communities to work together to protect tens of thousands of jobs, to support tens of thousands of workers and their families. I want to thank everyone for their ongoing support and partnership. I'm going to start off with Lana Payne at Unifor as being an absolute champion. Another champion, I call him a friend too, Dave Cassidy from Unifor Local 444. We sat down with Dave, and thank you always for your support. And he's just doing a great job, along with Flavio Volpe from the Automotive Parts Manufacturers Association, Mayor Dilkins, and Mark Stewart from Stellantis, and of course our friends from the federal government. These are people who care deeply about our workers, who care deeply about our country, and I know we're going to come together to land this deal, and Ontario is here to do our part. Thank you all for joining us today, and may God bless the people of Ontario. Thank you. I guess before we start, I just want to tell people about our visit. I had the opportunity to go to a couple skilled trades training facilities, and it's just jaw-dropping what they're doing. I want to thank our friends, first of all, from LiUNA for working with the students and the schools and partnering with St. Clair College. They're great. I went over to my friends at the Carpenters. They're doing phenomenal work. They're blazing a new trail when it comes to teaching young people, grades 11 and 12s, a trade, a skilled trade that they'll have forever. I went over to Local 444, met all the great folks over there with Dave Cassidy, and a great partnership. And now we're here making this announcement. I'll tell you, I am in such a really good mood today. I'm usually in a good mood every day. But when I come here, you know, we're changing collectively, all of us. The municipalities and the trade unions and everyone else, this is going to be the hottest place, and not literally this hot, but it's going to be the hottest place to open a business, to lay down your roots, to start a family and buy a home. The people are so hospitable down here. They give their shirts off their backs, and the greetings I get when I stop are second to none, and I'm just so happy, and I'm so grateful for all their support, and our local MPPs. They're true champions. So I'll take questions now. Thank you.
Great. Just reminders, one question, one follow-up.
Thank you.
Hi, Maureen with Blackburn News.
Hi, Maureen.
We keep hearing that the deal's closed. It's coming. It's coming. When? When are we going to get this over the finish line?
Well, we're helping the federal government with their deal, and we've stepped up, and we're going to continue supporting them. And again, we have a great partnership. I have a great friendship with Chrystia Freeland and Francois Philippe Champagne. They've been great partners. Vic Fideli has been a champion on our behalf as well. We were up, just to give you an idea, folks. You wonder how some of these things happen. And this is a record for Christy and I. During the pandemic, we'd be up at 12 talking to each other. We were on the line with the PMO, standing for Prime Minister's office, Christia's team, along with Francois Philippe. And I know our team was there as well, Vic Fideli, and our office, until 2 o'clock in the morning. I think I hung up our conversation with Christy at 1:30 in the morning, and I just want to thank them for their great partnership. But we're here to help them get their deal. This is the federal government's deal, and we're there to support them. We're putting more money up, and I think we're about that close from getting it done. And I want to say thank you to Stellantis for being a great partner, for having patience, and we're going to build a beautiful facility here, employ 2,500 people, and then there's spin-off jobs, 7 to 1. You know, those are pretty staggering numbers. You're looking at thousands and thousands of new jobs, and what comes with that? New housing. new roads, twinning the highways, new hospitals, long-term care, the schools that we're building, and it just goes hand in hand, such a great trickle-down effect.
Thank you. And once that deal is done, what assurances are we going to have that it is a done deal when we thought it was done once before? What assurances are going to be part of that contract to make sure that this is actually done?
Well, again, the federal government's deal, we're going to be there to support them. You're going to see the building continue to go up, and you're going to see them starting to hire people. They're first out of the gate. So we're going to see a real economic boom here, but we're going to get it done.
Hi, TJ Deers, CBC News.
Hi, TJ.
You've seemingly changed your thoughts on how much the province should spend on a potential deal with Stellantis. First, it was millions. Now you said you're putting more money on the table. How much are you going to be propping up as part of this potential deal, and when will we get that information? Will it be made public?
Well, it will be after the deal is signed. We're in for one third the cost, and this is all about the people. It's about supporting the people, supporting the workers in this community. You know, as a comment, when I was driving through here, one of my team members in the car said, you know, this region was ignored for 90 to 100 years. Until we ended up getting our local MPPs, and they've done an incredible job. Having a voice at the table makes such a difference when you're down at Queen's Park or any region at all. And we're just grateful we have 3 champions down here really shouting loud when we're down at Queen's Park about supporting this region.
And on Monday, Bill 5, the Stopping Harassment and Abuse by Local Leaders Act, was defeated. Last year, Queen's Park unanimously supported the bill until it was dissolved with the election call. Why has your government decided not to support it this time around?
Well, we're going to come up with a different type of bill. That's what it comes down to. We don't necessarily agree with all the wording in that bill, but we'll be there to make sure that we come up with a proper bill.
Hello, Rusty Thompson from AM 800.
Hi, Rusty. How are you?
Not bad. My question is, as we've seen this play out over the past few weeks, are you afraid that we will end up setting a dangerous precedent when it comes to how we provide incentives and subsidies to companies looking to locate in Ontario?
I don't think so. I look at it as an investment. Again, no matter if it's Stellantis or Volkswagen, the spin-off jobs are staggering, absolutely staggering. We're going to see tens of thousands of people having a job that they might otherwise not have a job. You're seeing a real boom throughout this whole region. So we invest into the people. That's the most important thing. And this isn't about 1 or 2 or 3 years. This is for decades moving forward and giving people certainty and stability, giving communities the stability that they need, and the leaders within the community. They're having more revenue come up to the city coffers, per se, and being able to spend it on different areas, no matter if it's infrastructure or health care. And that's exactly what we're doing here in Windsor.
In regards to the extension of Lausanne Parkway to the 401, that's not a small ticket item.
No.
Why is that seen as a priority for your government, given that there's so many highway projects across the province?
Well, supporting the region, but in saying that, I'm going to pass it over to the minister. That can pass it over to Mayor Dilkens. And Mayor Dilkens was a champion on this. He was the one who was pushing it forward, and Minister Mulrooney was also the champion making it happen. But I'll pass it over to both of them.
Thank you, Premier. Well, absolutely. The work that we're going to do on the interchange, the environmental assessment work, the design work that will lead to the building of an interchange will unlock tremendous potential in the region. And I can tell you the Mayor Dilkens has been a passionate advocate on this particular project because this particular area is key to the City of Windsor's plans to development, be it commercial or residential. And so the province wants to partner with the city to make sure that we're supporting that growth that's been identified by the city. And so this is the first step. And with that, I'll turn it over to the Mayor.
Well, thank you, Minister. And I just go back to the conversation where people have said to us for many years, you guys are so lucky to have Canada's largest infrastructure project with construction of the Gordie Howe Bridge in your backyard. And when you ask yourself, well, how are we lucky? When that project is done and you can drive a car from Montreal to Tijuana without ever stopping, what luck are you going to have? It's the luck we're going to create. And so that is why in the platform for Windsor in the last provincial election, we raised this as a priority because we knew being able to have access to Lausanne and 401 was critical to look at the next element of an industrial park for the city of Windsor. Because once we landed the Nexstar deal, LG told us, guys, get an additional 200 acres of land ready because there's 1,500 jobs that are going to follow in the supply chain. And we simply looked at our map, and we looked at a map in the county as well and said, where are we going to put these folks? What land is ready and available to go? And so this is all planning and making sure that we have land ready to go. And then, as I said, we're building, and it's this government here, this government and this premier who said we are going to make sure that the hospital is a priority for Windsor-Essex because he finally, not he finally, but the government finally, and your government said, we hear your voice down there. You've been pounding the table and advocating for a decade on this. He says, we're going to deliver it. And so this connection actually links to the 401 at Lausanne and actually makes it easier for everyone in Essex County to get to the new hospital that we're going to build. And so you layer on the housing aspect and you look at the Sandwich South lands, and you know that there is going to be at least a 2,000 home subdivision being built in the northwestern part of the Sandwich Southlands. They too will have access to a huge interchange to be able to get to and from Windsor and Essex County. So on a number of fronts, this is a priority project, but it really is future thinking, trying to get the project in the queue, to get it funded. And the absolute first important piece is the Premier's announcements today and Minister Mulrooney's announcement today to get the all-important environmental assessment done that would allow construction to proceed.
Taylor Campbell with the Windsor Star. Premier, we see environmental assessments occur all the time with no action, no follow-through on those projects. How high a priority is the 401 Lausanne Parkway?
Okay, we've been listening to the
interchange
Premier
for
and
government?
Transportation Minister Caroline Mulrooney making an announcement and taking questions from reporters near Windsor. All about the Stellantis deal. Ford says he's urging Ottawa to do what's necessary to secure the deal, and Ontario will follow suit and do its part as well.